I then give the floor to Alexis McKellen from the ACSILC. Sorry, you have the floor.
Thank you. Hai tai gusuyo tu ganabira. My name is Alexis McClellan Ufugusku, and I am a proud mixed-race Shike Nushimonchu woman. Many of the issues we have on our islands, including land and water pollution, are a result of the U.S. military and Japanese self-defense force bases, and FPIC is constantly being undermined for Ryukyuans, especially in regards to yet another new base that is being built in Henoko Village, despite multiple referendums that voted against its construction. But the issue I want to draw your attention to today is about PFAS contamination as a result of the bases in the Ryukyus. PFAS contamination is a result of militarism in our islands. Currently, 450,000 Ryukyuans are being subject to using and consuming water that is contaminated with the carcinogenic chemical compound per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS, that is coming from the US and Japanese self-defense force bases and has seeped into our water supply. This problem is inescapable. The water that is affected is used not only for drinking, but also for bathing and gardening, and is thus an inescapable reality for, I repeat, 450,000 Ryukyuan people. In addition to the many other problems we have as a result of our dual colonization by Japan and the US, we now worry about serious long-term health hazards as a result of long-term exposure to and accumulation of PFAS in our people's bodies. PFAS are flame retardants that are commonly found on military bases in products such as firefighting foam. The U.S. Department of Defense has identified suspected contamination at 651 U.S. military bases and is replacing older firefighting foam with newer alternatives. However, these new alternatives are not deployed to the U.S. bases in Ryukyu. PFAS contamination in Ryukyu likely happens in 4 ways, such as accidents, leaks, training, and disposal. In 2015, the Japanese and U.S. governments reached a supplementary environmental agreement that allowed local authorities to conduct on-base checks following an environmental accident.
You have to wrap up.
Yes. However, that does not mean that U.S. base authorities have to allow local governments on base in order to actually check for leaks. It's no accident that PFAS contamination levels in Ryukyu are extraordinarily high, because everything in Ryukyu that has to do with Japanese and U.S. colonization is extraordinarily high, including violence, our land being desecrated, our ancestors being used to build yet another new U.S. base, and now our water. Nihea debitan.
Thank you. I then give the floor to the government of Japan. Taguchi Kazuo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. We highly appreciate the work of EMRIP has been conducting over the past 15 years to advance the promotion and protection of indigenous people's rights. Since the adoption of the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, Japan has steadily made efforts to address issues related to indigenous people. In 2008, Japan recognized Ainu people as indigenous people, with a unique language as well as religious and cultural distinctiveness. We understand that Okinawa, like other regions in Japan, has developed its own unique and distinctive culture and tradition over its long history. Japan remains committed to respectfully promoting the preservation of these culture and traditions. At the same time, there is no widely shared recognition in either Okinawa or Japan at large that these people are indigenous people. In fact, local council in Okinawa have adopted resolutions saying that the people of Okinawa do not consider themselves as indigenous people. All Japanese nationals in or from Okinawa are protected by the law. The government as a whole is currently working on a series of issues surrounding PFOS and other pollutants in cooperation with the local governments concerned and the U.S. to alleviate the concerns of the people of Okinawa and other citizens. Japan places priority on continuing to engage with issues of indigenous people in cooperation with the international community. I thank you.
Thank you to the representative of the government of Japan.